Hello everyone and welcome again to another edition of IIS. In today's installment I wanted again to talk about best practices. This is gonna be part 2 of the video, and in today's video let's see, I wanted just to pull up my documents regarding IIS. So last time we were talking about actually creating a different path for the web root. So www root folder and the init pub. And now we're gonna start applying best practices. Okay, so I've written down quite a lot of this stuff so it will be easier. So let's start first of all with using TLS 1.3. So configuring IIS for support of the latest versions of SSL TLS, so version 1.3. To ensure secure communication, we should disable the older insecure protocols like SSL 2.0, 3.0 and TLS 1.0 and 1.1. So, okay, first of all, I'm gonna just pull up the server. Let's actually go to PowerShell. We're gonna run it as administrator. Maybe I'm just gonna use, let's use this one. It's gonna be easier. And here I have a specially created script to configure SSL TLS settings in IIS, and it's set here to backup registry before making changes as a recommended option. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy the whole script. We're gonna go through it in a moment. Okay, and let's take a look. So this script, what does it do? So first of all, define registry path for protocols. So basically all the protocols for TLS reside in this path in the registry. So system current control set control security providers as channel protocols. Function to disable the protocols. So now we'll be disabling the protocols that we were saying before, those that are not needed. Next function to enable the protocols that we want to. So disabling is setting the volume to 0 and enabling is setting the volume to 1. Value to 1. And here we have all the disabled SSL TLS protocols, so those ones are going to be disabled and this one is going to be enabled. And of course at the end the IIS needs to be restarted. Okay, so this is how it looks. Let's run the script. I'm just going to open it here. So as you can see, IIS has been restarted now, and everything has been restarted successfully. Okay, so we have discovered. Now we should move on to another best practice, which is disabling unnecessary modules. So disable modules in IIS that you don't need. So this is why I actually, when I was installing everything here on the server, I basically took everything that I could, so I could later on show you how to disable those not needed modules. So I'm gonna just close this down. because we have quite a lot of different modules installed. So first of all, what we're gonna do, we're gonna actually take a look what do we have, what kind of modules do we have. And after it shows all the modules, we can choose which are gonna be used and which ones should be actually disposed of. Of course, you can check them as well here. So as you can see, these are all the modules that are currently installed in our IIS. You can also remove the module here. I just wanted to show you how you can do it through PowerShell. Okay, so basically these are the modules that we have. So as you can see, uh, those are the ones that are installed right now. And if we want to disable some modules, so let's say we're gonna uninstall WebDev because this one is not needed. So we can just do uninstall Windows feature, and then we have to actually copy from here the name of the feature that needs to be uninstalled. And there we go. So it's always a good practice to go through all the modules and just check what you have and dispose of all of this stuff that is not necessary. Or it might, of course, create some kind of a potential threat if it's not used, not taken care of, and it just resides on the server. Okay, so let's wait for this to finish. I'm gonna reload all of this here so we can see if WebDev module has been disabled or deleted. Of course, the next best practice that I wanted to talk about is gonna be ModSecurity. So I think everybody who used Linux in many distributions knows ModSecurity, what it's capable of, and what are the benefits of using ModSecurity. So maybe it's an old practice, but sometimes it's quite a good one. So depending on what kind of rules you're setting in ModSecurity, of course, if you want to protect your server, then it's good to have it. So that's gonna be our next step, setting up ModSecurity. And after that, I'm gonna show you a couple of examples of rules that you can set up and what those rules actually mean. Okay, so here we go. Restart is not needed. WebDev has been disabled or removed. So let's actually verify everything here. And there we go, we don't have WebDev here anymore. So this is the easiest and fastest way. Of course, if you want, you can do it this way, just remove, or you can do it this way, whichever is easier for you or faster. Okay, so now let's go to ModSecurity because this is going to be a little bit extensive, and I wanted to share a little bit of time about it. So first of all, if you want to set up ModSecurity on your IIS, On Windows Server you need to have some dependencies installed. So first of all, we would need to install this dependency on my desktop. And here we go. Now we can actually download this. Okay, what's next? We're gonna also need to go to GitHub. Okay, so let's check. Okay, so the next thing is gonna be GitHub, and it's gonna be the core rule set that we need to download. Okay. And what do we have next? Next, we are gonna go to updates.atomicorp.com, and from here we're gonna download the ModSecurity MSI package. So let's download this one. And keep it anyway. Okay, and I'm gonna also need the rule set, so I'm gonna download this as a zip file. Okay, so now after downloading everything, can actually open downloads folder, and we can start with this. This is the first thing that is gonna be needed. Okay, next we're gonna install ModSecurity. Okay, so common files and 64-bit, that's fine. Yeah, and we're gonna install this. Okay, and we need to actually extract the core rule set. Okay. Okay, fine. So maybe I'm just gonna pull this up here. So once you actually install ModSecurity, if we go to our IIS, let's actually restart everything. Application pool sites, okay. Oh, maybe I'm just gonna close this down for a moment, and let's actually check. Okay, so first of all we need to install C++, and then ModSecurity after that, and we go to Modules tab in IIS to check if ModSecurity was actually installed, Okay, so because I didn't remember everything, so we need to go here to modules and we need to look for ModSecurity, and here it is. As you can see, this is actually not needed because it's 32-bit. This is the one you are interested in, so basically I can remove this and I only need this. And here is the full path of the DLL file. Okay. So ModSecurity was installed as a module. Now let's check what's next. So after that we need to go to the program files of ModSecurity, and in the ModSecurity configuration file we need to set the secure rules engine on. So we'll basically enable all the basic configuration files. So we're gonna go here. Let's actually go here. I'm gonna go to program files. Let's check ModSecurity. And here's the configuration file. And let's actually open it. And here we should we have here security rules engine. Here now it's set of course for detect only, so we're gonna just turn it on. I'm gonna save it. Okay, next we're gonna open ModSecurity underscore IIS configuration. Now we need to include those lines. So basically these are the lines of different configuration files and those core rule sets that we have actually downloaded in the zip file that we're gonna include. So we need to open this file, open it with Notepad, and here is include ModSecurity conf. ModSecurity conf, let's check this, open with Notepad. Let's check if at the end here we don't have those files. I mean those lines included anywhere. Well, actually, no, we don't. I don't see them anywhere, so that's good. Okay, so actually let's open it once again. And we can include those lines. So without this, because this already exists, and we got CRS setup and the rules, of course. Okay, save. Great, so let's go. What's next? So now we got the integration of core rule set. Okay, so we need to extract the core rule set and take a folder rules and copy to your main ModSecurity folder. So we need to go to our core rule set that we have here. Okay, we need to copy rules. So we're gonna copy this to our ModSecurity folder, paste. Okay, what's next? Then we need to rename response example and exclusion rules conf in the main rules folder. Rename CRS setup conf example to CRS setup conf. Okay, so basically we need to go here to core rule set and look for the examples. So we need to rename this one. Okay, we need to rename this. We need to copy this. We need to copy it here. And next, we need to look for let's check once again in the rules folder. Okay, so basically we need to go also to the rules folder here, and we need to find exclusions. Example, we need to do it as a configuration, and another example, exclusion rules. After, I'm gonna rename it as well, and there we go. And I think, yeah, that's all. And here's how to set up basic ModSecurity rules. So basically, in the main configuration file, you need to, of course, set the rule engine on, so everything works. If it's detection only, it's gonna be only passing through, so it's gonna be checking stuff, but it's not gonna block anything. I had here also some things that I forgot to talk about. Remove all unused features from the web server. Okay, no, actually, it's here. Sorry, because it's yeah. So I did talk about it because I thought I had some different kind of features listed here somewhere that you actually need to remove from the server or are like mandatory, but no, I don't. Okay, so basically, if it goes to the main configuration file of the ModSecurity, here are some things that you could basically blindly copy from me, because this is just like a basic set of things that you can actually set up. So let's open our configuration file. Let's open our configuration file. And now we'll be able to actually set some stuff up. Okay, so we're gonna look for this option. We're gonna turn it on. Body access. So here we have it's on, so it's fine. Next, response. It's on as well, fine. Next we got the audit logs, which are very helpful, so I suggest you set it up. If you are using ModSecurity, don't forget the logs. Sec auditor logs. Okay, let's check. So we have here audit log configuration, audit log type, specify the path for concurrent audit logging, and here is the default one, so it was on the C drive in inetpub. C drive inetpub logs, but of course we changed inetpub, and now in my case it resides on the E drive. So in my case it would be like this, inetpub logs. Of course, here you can basically set your own logs. You just need to create logs folder. So if you want it in the ModSecurity folder, you just need to create a folder called logs. And here we got like ModSecurity log. Something like this. So we can actually then copy the full path, and we can actually apply it here. So something like this. So here we have ModSecurity audit log, setup audit log type serial. So here we got ModSec audit, and here we should actually apply this path. Okay. Here specify the path for concurrent. So concurrent, no, it's gonna be my mistake. Here it is. Basically, yeah. So this is how it looks. You can just create your own path, or you can basically do it in inetpub in a different place. Okay, now we got sec audit log path parts. So we're gonna check if this is configured. Maybe check up, yeah, and it's configured here. Okay, it's fine. Now let's actually request body limit. Gonna check as well. Action reject. And here we have body limit. Find. Yeah, here it is, and I think it's the same. It's the default volume, and now we have response. The response limit as well. Maybe we're gonna go down, and the volume is also the default volume. Okay, now we got the data directory. So we got the data directory. So in my case, I'm gonna just put it on the E drive in the temp file, and temp directory, of course. So let's go up, and this as well is in the E on the E drive. Okay, so like I said, if you have moved your inetpub to a different location, you need to remember about setting up those options. Otherwise, your configuration file might have some kind of issues, and you will run on errors that won't be expected at first. Okay, so let's save everything here. And now let's go back here and let's check. So we got some example rules. So this is the IP address of my server that is hosting IIS. So basically I have written it down like this. So first we got the rule, and here we have what it actually does. So I'm gonna go through them, and at the end I'm gonna just show you how the whole config file looks like when you put it together. So basically we need to create a ModSecurity custom rules config file, and let's go to ModSecurity. I'm gonna just create custom rules. Okay, and it needs to be created in the main folder of ModSecurity, and we need to include this configuration file in the ModSecurity IIS config. So it will actually read this configuration file. So we're gonna open this with Notepad. Once again, we're gonna include this configuration file. It's gonna be taken into consideration, and we can open this one, and we can start adding different rules. Okay, so first of all, allow internal requests. So this rule ensures that requests made from the server itself, loopback or server-to-server communications are not unnecessarily blocked. So are not unnecessarily blocked by ModSecurity. So allow requests from the server's own IP for internal communications. So this is basically how the rule looks like. I just need to change the IP address here because it's just some kind of random address. Okay. And here is how it works. So the rule looks up at the remote address variable, which stores the IP address of the client making the request. If the request comes from the server's IP, so this one, of course, it is allowed. So basically this is the rule. Now we have block administrative paths, so admin, WP admin. If the server hosts administrative pages or paths that should be strictly controlled, you can block those to prevent unauthorized access even if an attacker somehow manages to access your server. So block any access to administrative paths from the server itself. And there you go. So here is the sec rule that needs to be implemented. And how it works, the first rule, so this one, checks if the request originates from the IP address, so here. The second rule examines the URL path request URI from any of the patterns, so if the patterns are here or not. If both conditions are met, the request is denied, forbidden, preventing access to sensitive administrative pages. Next, we got restricting excessive resources usage or DDoS-like behavior. If you're concerned about potential DDoS-like behavior even from your own server, you can set rate limiting rules to prevent excessive requests. So now we got rate limiting rules to prevent DDoS from the server itself. So we got sec rule here, and here we have phase 1 denied status log. Here is our IP address, my rate limiting, and how it works. This rule looks for requests originating from this IP address. Sorry, again, some kind of bogus address here. So okay, so our address. If the server makes too many requests exceeding a predefined threshold in a short period of time, the request is denied with too many request status. Next, blocks suspicious patterns even from the server. SQL injection. Although the rate for an internal server to be targeted by SQL injection attacks is still a good idea. To safeguard the server from such threats, you can set up rules to detect and block such patterns from the server IP itself. So there you go. Here you have SQL detection for server requests from, well, our, of course, IP address. Here is the security rule and how it works. So the first rule checks the requests. Request is coming from internal. The second rule looks for SQL injection patterns. Yeah. If a match is found, the request is blocked. So basically this is the rest of the rule. It should be here I guess I just copied it wrongly. So this is the first part of the rule, and then here's a request denied at the end. Okay. Now we got ensure mod security internal integrity. Lastly, it's a good idea to add rules to protect mod security itself and ensure its internal integrity. So protect mod security config internal files from local access. And here we have the rule. So the first rule checks if the request is coming from the IP address again. The second rule searches for requests trying to access configuration files, log files, backup files, and such. If such files are requested from the server, access is blocked with forbidden status. Block path traversal attacks. Path traversal attacks occur when an attacker tries to access files outside of the intended directory. This rule prevents access to files outside the designated directories. So we have like block here. So this is the rule. Here's the phase. How it works: it looks for the string in the request URI in the part of URL containing the path and blocks the request if it detects it denying access and logging it. Next we got block cross-site scripting, of course, one of the basic rules always used attacks. Yeah, so here it is. How it works: it searches for patterns like script in the URL arguments or requests body, which is a common marker for XSS payloads. If detected, it blocks the request. Next we got restrict file uploads. So basically this is very good. If your server handles file uploads, restrict which files types can be uploaded to prevent malicious files, PHP script, etc. from being uploaded. Restrict file types for uploads. Only allow images, PDFs, etc. So here is the rule. How it works: it checks the name of the file being uploaded through the file temp name variable. If the file has the extension matching .php, exe, sh, or js, the request is denied. So we have like JavaScript, shells, exe files, PHP files. And everything is of course described here. So those extensions are gonna be banned. Restrict access to sensitive files. So htaccess, git. Block access to sensitive files like htaccess or git. Configuration files that could expose sensitive information if publicly accessible. Oh, very basic rule as well. Here it is. So how it works: it checks the URL request URL for the extensions of or paths associated with sensitive configuration files. If it detects one of those extensions, the request is denied, protecting these files from exposure. Block access to debugging tools. This is very common, sometimes utilized by attackers as well, to prevent access to web-based debugging tools such as PHP info, which could expose sensitive information about the server environment. How it works: it checks the request URI for the presence of PHP info. If detected, the request is denied, preventing attackers from gathering information about the PHP environment. Next we got, sorry about the numbers because they are not as they should be. Should be like 11, but block suspicious user agents. If you notice malicious user agents, you can block requests from those agents. Here's an example of blocking common attack-oriented user agents. How it works: it inspects the user agent header in the request and denies access if the header contains known suspicious user agents that are typically used by attackers or scanning tools. Now we have a filter for shell command injection, Prevent show command injection attacks by blocking suspicious patterns commonly used in such attacks. So very handy as well. How it works, it searches for common functions, eval system, eggs, etc. Within the request arguments, args, URL, request URI, or request body. If found, it denies the request. Block local file inclusion LFT and remote file inclusion RFI. Block attempts at local or remote file inclusion attacks where attackers try to include files to execute malicious code. How it works, it looks for patterns like and again, right, so block URL encoding, obfuscation. Sometimes attackers use URL encoding to obfuscate malicious input. This rule detects and blocks such attempts. How it works, it checks the URL for some patterns like this, which represent and denies the request again. Okay. Now, next we got monitor HTTP methods, disable trace. So we got here limit HTTP request size, prevent buffer overflow, very handy thing. And the last one is gonna be alert on changes in HTTP headers. X forwarded. Okay, so basically I had like here a couple of rules that you can actually use in ModSecurity. Those rules were checked up, so you can use them without any problem. And now I just wanted to show you how you can actually, how the full configuration file looks like. So let's go at the end of this document. I'm just gonna copy the content because it took me some time to gather this round. And there we go. So basically this is how it looks, or at least how it should look. So we got ModSecurity custom rules, enable ModSecurity sec rules on, and here we have different kind rules here. So SQL injection protection, cross-site scripting, suspicious user agent, rate limiting, block access to sensitive URLs, empty headers, web shell, upload attempts, response splitting attacks, body size, request method to only save HTTP verbs, block directory traversal attacks, prevent command injection, access to hidden files like env-git, basic anti-CRF protection, proxy requests if not needed. You can of course hash it. Session, fixation protection, check cookie domain, logging and debugging, allow safe admin traffic. Of course, this is the wrong IP address, but well, it's only to show you how it actually should look like. Okay, so basically I think I will conclude this part of the video for best practices part 2. So this is how you can implement ModSecurity into your IIS. These are the rules that you can actually implement. There's a lot of them, and really it's easy to use, but you always need to remember that you need to check those rules if you're implementing them, because you never know how your environment might actually react with those rules. Okay, so if you like the content, once again, like, subscribe, and if you feel like supporting my channel for better quality of video, maybe audio, I managed to change my audio a little bit because some people were saying that the audio quality is bad, so I tried to do something about it. I hope it's gonna be a little bit better. So thanks for pointing that out. Sometimes I just don't have enough time to put everything as it should be. So I will see you at the next video.